So today I'm excited to welcome Ollie, Ben, and James from the band Pulse to Totally Music to chat about their musical career. Pulse, welcome to Totally Music. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Ben and I play guitar and sing.
You're right. I'm James. I play bass.
Yeah, right. I'm Ollie and I do drums.
It's great to have you all on. So how did the band come together and what was the initial inspiration behind forming Pulse?
Well, Pulse has actually been going for a lot longer than it has been known.
Active, yeah.
Yeah, like I started the band in high school, obviously with not James and Ollie. We met in university, but it was kind of like a high school project I had for my A levels, and then I couldn't really find any bandmates in my hometown, and then I was like, right, time to go to uni. And then um I needed to record our first song, Where Does the Earth Go?
Yeah.
And we were like, I was just going round and round and round in circles with bandmates. And then one of my mates at the time said, oh yeah, I know a drummer. He's called Ollie. And then we met in the SU, and then we
Well, we
bonded
met
over
on
the
the first day of uni properly, didn't
oh
we?
my, I always forget this. We
Yeah.
we we actually met on the first day of uni.
Was it during that meeting we had, like, a
Yeah.
first year? Right.
Yeah. Because I met Lucy and then awkwardly sat next to Ben. And then it was that one we had to like sit next to people and just talk with each other. So then we got
I think I
talking
for that
about
one.
like pumpkins or something like that.
Yeah, we bonded over the Smashing Pumpkins, and then
Yeah.
I was like, "Do you fancy recording some drums?" And then you were like, "Yeah, go on." And we
Yeah.
had literally no experience in the studio at
Didn't know
all.
what we were doing.
We were just, I think it goes there, press record, but we didn't know how to use the desk. And then Tazar, James joined because he was the
Oh,
only one that knew how
yeah.
to use the desk.
I had. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. My camera's just falling there. But yeah, no, I had somewhat knowledge of the desk. Not as much knowledge as we probably know now, but
So
yeah.
That was
how did
funny.
you come up with the name Pulse?
Um, to be honest, I had like lists and lists and lists of names, and then Pulse just
Well,
sounded good. It just sounded good, and I was like, and I'm a fan of Pink Floyd, and they did a live thing called Pulse, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And plus, to be funny, I can say that music needs a pulse just to be that guy.
So how would you describe your music to someone who's never heard it before?
um,
Nirvana tribute band.
no, we've got past that point.
We have, we
yeah,
have.
we have.
Yeah, about a year or two ago, that, but at minute, I'd just say like alt rock. We've got some heavier ones. We've got some like, softer ones.
Nah.
Like,
It all
yeah, alternative is, I think, what we would label it as.
music for losers.
Yeah.
Give the Foo Fighters and Smashing Pumpkins had a secret love child.
And then a
Go
little
for
bit of the Smiths just over it.
Mm.
So which of your songs do you feel most connected to and why?
James, you
Um,
can go first. Or Ollie.
can I go
Both,
first?
Yeah,
yeah.
Ollie, you go first.
So I've got two. I'm so tired, which is it's the one I think that we spent the most time like through songwriting from because it's very sectional and we've now got whenever we're playing live, we've got a song which should be coming out this year, which leads perfectly into it with a little like drum thing. And it's so fun to play live, and it was one where I got to stretch my legs a bit because Pulse was the first band I ever was in studio with. So first couple songs that we were doing, I was like, just play it safe, just play it safe, and then that was when I got like confident to run with it a bit more. Either that or Better Off Now, just because it was written and came out at quite a quintessential time for me. Just gone through some rough stuff, and then that like you're better off now. Just that sort of
Yeah.
idea. It was quite nice.
did make me laugh when you texted me saying I just had a little cry to this song. I was like, Ollie, it's a Wednesday morning. What are you doing?
It's online just going over this bridge, really beautiful sunrise. I'm like, it's getting to me. Yeah, them trying to say.
Right.
See, I don't know because every song I write is not like just like a throwaway. I kind of put everything into it when I'm writing it. But if I had to choose one, it would probably be a one would be Us because
Yeah.
it's a very, very personal song to me and my girlfriend who I wrote it about went through like a little bit
Oh,
of a tough time and then we didn't see each other for like a year. But I wrote that song before we got back together. But it's like the first song I ever wrote that like just absolutely destroyed me when writing it. And I was like, we're not even together. What? And then I was just like, right, okay. But amazingly, we've been together for like 2 years now. But that song and
just
ooh,
looking at all the sets.
yeah, I'm just looking at the songs because um
It's definitely gonna say Selfless.
I was thinking that one, to be honest.
yeah.
That's so much meaning.
Summer Sunshine as well, because it's about my granddad who passed away, who was an amazing man. That one means a lot as well, because at the end it has video audio, like we have like an old family video camera, and like that's the only thing that exists of him and his voice and like seeing him. So I added that at the end. That means a lot to me as well.
Hmm.
And then James is probably going to say selfless because it's just really fun to play live.
To be fair, mine too. Oh, that's still fun. I'm gonna get the one that I didn't actually, the one song, one of the two songs I didn't actually play on in the album, Betrayal Any Day. I think that song is one of the hardest songs I can go, and I think the actual build up throughout the song is amazing.
Yeah,
And
just
then
when
the other one, I don't know if I can say the name yet because it hasn't been released yet, but it's my personal favorite because I actually get to do a solo for once.
Oh,
So yeah, that's why.
Say
And
it,
it's fun to
say
play. Can I say it?
Go on.
Cool. I don't want to accidentally get it confused with the hers, the hers song. Cool like you. Did I get it right?
I wish I was cool like you.
I
Yeah,
wish it
it's
was
called
cool
I
like
Wish I Was Cool in
yeah, yeah.
brackets. Cool like you.
Okay, that song. But that's because I get to have a bit more fun on the bass in that song, and that's one of my personal favorites to play live. So yeah, I'll keep that short and simple. Done.
And so can you walk us through your songwriting process?
Ben,
Oh, right. So,
it's all
Yeah.
Ben. It's most like 90% Ben.
yeah,
He just goes
I
on ChatGPT.
yeah.
That's not true. That's not true.
So it basically either starts with it, it's never like a definite process. It's changed a lot over the last couple of years because when I was writing stuff in high school and college, it was just me and I didn't really have a band to present it to.
Yeah.
But when I got to uni, I already had written the songs for Loser and I knew exactly what I wanted and exactly how I wanted them to sound. But I said to James and Ollie, I said, I would like your personalities and your playing style still on the songs.
Why are
Like
we
we're not,
arguing about how hard I hit a cymbal? It's
yeah, we had a big blowout about that. But it usually starts with a demo and then I'll obsess over it for like a week and then I'll present it to James and Ollie and then we'll practice it and
Yeah.
then
build it out and
yeah, just
Mhm.
bang it
so
out basically.
once we can sort of play it like consistently without any mess ups, usually take it to the studio then. But even then, stuff's changing. Like I know for my parts, I change them each time I play them. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I have an actual set bass line that I play half the time. I feel like I just
go around the chords.
Yeah, it's fun. It's more fun. You get something new every time.
We are professional, we promise.
Yeah.
So what's been your most memorable moment of your career so far?
I definitely got mine.
Go on then.
You go first then.
Whacking Ollie into that bar table.
Sorry?
Whacking you into that bar table during the film of the
Oh,
film. Oh, that was great.
We
I don't
filmed.
know about it, but it works so perfectly with the video.
Got to give context because that sounds weird out of.
Yeah. Well, we were filming for the first song that we released called Selfless, and at the end of the video, Ollie said to me, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if you just like push me,
Smash me against the wall. Just...
yeah, push me against the wall?" And I turned around to him I went, "Are you sure you want me to do this?" He went, "Yeah, don't hold back."
Yeah, because we did it twice beforehand, and he was like, it didn't get the impact that I wanted it to because it was sort of like, oh, I'll fall down, it'll look funny. The third time, absolutely wellies me. I end up falling over the bar, hitting an old injury on my like midsection, so I got internal bruising again. Smashed a glass that I knocked into. So if you got the video, you can see right at the end you get absolutely bodied.
Either that or probably Band on the Wall. I did enjoy playing Band on the Wall. Actually,
That was mine.
Yeah, for me, I'd say Band on the Wall would be up there because it is a place where I've watched quite a few of my favourite bands play, and it was just mad to see the other side of it. Like it felt like to me first actual step into the gigging life and doing some good venues.
we play Mac.
The most recent show that we did in Darwin, which is where I live, that was quite nice because it was the first time ever actually playing drums around here, and everyone thinks of me as a bassist for other stuff, but it was nice to be able to stretch my life and show up a bit.
Especially with that photo behind you.
Oh yeah, so it was for my mate's EP launch, and he had complete control over the night. So James had the wonderful idea of while we're playing to get an absolute horrible photo of me and just put it up behind us, randomly flashing. So I turned around, and everyone would just start laughing at it. I turned around and it would still be the Pulse logo. But then every 2 seconds, I'd look back straight to go play, and it'd just be my mug popping up.
It was great. I wasn't expecting it though.
I was not involved in this at all. I said no. I actually said no.
I said that jokingly to Blake, his mate Blake, who asked us to do it. I said it to him as a joke, and then I asked Ollie, and Ollie was like, "No," and I turned around to Blake and went, "No, don't do it," and he was just like tough, and I was like, "All right, tell me."
To be fair, it was quite funny. It helped take the edge off it. I'm like, I was nervous to play that set then. Yeah.
Mine would probably be Band on the Wall because it was the shock of like we did sound check and there wasn't really a lot of people there. And then when we got on stage, the place was filled like to the back. And like I was just so like starstruck. I was just like, what is going on here? And then we like kicked into the first song and the place just went off and it was just like, this is what being in a band should be. This is so fun.
Oh, I love venue.
Yeah, it's good.
So who would you love to collaborate with in the future and why?
Ooh.
I have actually been thinking about this question or for like since you sent me the questions, and it would have to be Johnny Marr of the Smiths. Because I would have said Billy Corgan, but the Smiths were like the building blocks of me picking up a guitar. So I'm like, I would love to collaborate with Johnny Marr. I think he's incredible.
Personally, it's a bit of a left field though, because it's not really adjacent to what we're doing. But there's a bloke, what's it called? Bobby Wolfgang, I think his name is. And it's like electronica punk stuff, but he does remixes of songs, and some of them that he does are absolutely insane. And he's up and coming at the minute. I think he's either based in London or Manchester, one of the two. I couldn't tell you, or Bristol even. But I feel like he could do some interesting stuff. But I think he did a remix of "Pop Pop Pop" by Idols, which absolutely just went off. yeah, bit of a weird one.
Mm. Me, I'd probably there's two options. There's one that kind of links to Pulse, and there's one like that I'd just like to work with. There's an artist, Dayglow. I would love one day to collaborate with him. He does like 80s disco pop kind of music, and I absolutely love him to pieces. He's been one of my biggest inspirations within music. Or I know there's a bit of he's having not the best time right now, but probably Dave Grohl because I just love him as a drummer. He was like Foo Fighters was an introduction to like rock music for me, and I absolutely love the majority of songs they do. And to be able to work with him one day, that'll be incredible.
Or
Yes.
even any
Like,
of the Foo Fighters.
like in
Like,
Wayne's
Pat
World with
Smear would
like
do this. Oh, the
you know,
We're Not Worthy.
we're not worthy kind of stuff. That's what I'd be like in front of him.
I'd love to just sit in a room with Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters. It would be insane because we all went to when was the Foo Fighters gig?
Oh, sometime in June, I think.
Yeah.
Last it was last summer. We all went to the second night of the Foo Fighters gig, and we were all just like, that was the best gig I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
you've got his pick.
Yeah, the viral video of Dave Grohl hitting someone with a pick was my girlfriend. And it's even funnier that you would think like both of us were like concentrating, but like she was like looking at her phone because I don't know, someone was like trying to phone her or text her or something. So she was like looking down, and I was like stood behind her. But I was just like, oh my God, that's Dave Grohl. And I was just like, literally barrier, he's there. And I was just like, oh my God, that's Dave Grohl. And then he flicked something, and then everyone's head moved, and it just stuck to her head because it was so hot. And everyone looked down to the floor, and she turned around and I just went, mine. Just put it in. But the clip went viral, and I was just like, I said to her, I was like, that's your claim to fame.
So if you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Ooh.
I've got mine.
Red Rocks in California, just that amphitheater, it looks insane to just play at. What's it called? It's gone out of my head now. The Troubadour. That's it. Because it's just Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. And honestly, it'd be lovely to just play some of the venues which I've seen bands at, so like Ballroom in Blackpool. It's an old school venue, but it's gorgeous inside. Like all the ones dotted around Manchester, like Vic Warehouse. I'd just love to do one out of the country as well. Like I feel like it'd be just a fun experience overall.
Mine would either be the Metro, I think it's called the Metro Center in Chicago, where the Smashing Pumpkins basically like cut their teeth, like they got famous in there, and I've got the vinyl that they did from that gig. I think it was during the Siamese Dream like era.
Best era.
Yeah. Or the Manchester Apollo. I just think it's such a beautiful venue, and it's
Is
got
that the one
such
near Deansgate? Opposite
it's
Gorilla.
it's near it's hard to
Closer
describe
to
it.
Piccadilly.
Yeah, Piccadilly, and
Right,
it's
got
like
you.
outside. Yeah, I seen Morrissey there, and it was such a nice venue.
I'd like to play in my garden.
Actually, yeah, like a
I'd
basement
like to
show.
do a back garden
Yeah.
gig or like the house gig or something like that. I think that'd
Yeah.
be sick.
A house show would be
Yeah.
absolutely
But
great.
if you talk about like going abroad or something like that, I'd love to play Japan.
Yeah.
Japan would be sick to play, even all Spain.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
some gigs that Boris did in Japan. They look absolutely insane.
Exactly. So I'd like to that, but my garden is probably top up there. Up there.
I'm gonna say one more. The Amsterdam Arena in Holland, because I'm not supposed to say this, but I seen Harry Styles there. And not very alt rock of me, but I seen Harry
Well, Harry
Styles there.
Styles is me.
But it was just such a like wow, like the stadium was huge, and it was just, yeah, I'd love to play that arena. It'd be cool.
So finally, what's next for you?
We have a few singles lined up.
One comes out tomorrow.
One comes out tomorrow. It's called Now You're Not Around. And then we have a couple of more singles, and then hopefully we release an album, another one.
You've got to keep it going.
Got to keep going, and then
Yeah.
two EPs, but we're not going to say anything about that yet.
Because we haven't figured it all out.
And that.
Yeah, I'd say just want to be gigging a bit more and like just getting the shifts in, putting some work in, and just trying to be in right place at right time.
Yeah, and just getting people to come to live music because it's like
Restart.
even with it's what, James?
Restart gig culture.
Yeah,
It's
like
dead.
it's not the fact that there's bad bands out there. We've played with some incredible bands, but
Martial arts were good, yeah.
there's just nobody there, and it's just like it's so annoying. We'd just like to get that community going again of like bands supporting bands and people coming down to the gigs and stuff.
Yeah, like instead of just normally if it's like a Friday night or something, you just go pub. But I feel like a lot more people are less likely to go to a pub if there's music on, especially like if you don't know what it is, and especially for stuff that isn't covers, no one's going to know the song. So they're not going to pay a fiver because to them, that's a pint.
That's true. That's very true.
It's just like the stigma around it. You only really go to see people. You never, there's less people going to try and find bands out and like, oh, there's a show on this time. Don't know any of them there. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean that you're exactly right. It's just like this is how bands of like pre-2000, like that's how they made it. Just like go and see a band,
why like
give it a
TikTok and
chance.
internet status has become so big because it's that constant stream of being able to check up on them and always being able to go there instead of waiting for them to come to your town or waiting to be able to go see them. It's instantly on your phone there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A massive thank you to Pulse for joining me on Talk the Music. If anyone would like to talk about the music, I'll leave all the links in the description below for you. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So much.